Warren. What are you talking about? It's all about Beech Grove. It's a family here, and you let me feel part of that family. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, we need all the recipes written down.
All our secrets.
Right.
The ranch dressing.
Every time I eat hummus, I think, and Rob said never eat hummus.
Right. Ms. Carmen?
All right, I will highlight a few things on here. When we had the board meeting before, I had not yet attended the National Inspira Conference, which was funded by the TSL grant, which is gone, but I will tell you, it was incredibly fascinating, mainly with the rise of AI and ethical considerations versus what is happening right now, and so I'm really going to dive into that, but it's here. And so we are going to need to embrace it versus fighting it, but we need to do it ethically, and there's a lot to that, but it was a real gift to be able to talk with schools in California and some different places where it's already kind of started, because we were on the West Coast. But more to come, but it's scary and exciting at the same time, honestly. For schools, the implications could be crazy. So we need to kind of understand the good and the bad with it. With the grant leaving, we're also unable to do our PPC. Google PPC campaign has been stalled. Some exciting things about that. During the campaign, we were able to generate 2,177 conversions, which means that's the actual number of clicks to the website, which was up 80% from last year. So it was working. It's more than I understand, but it was really redirecting to our website. Like, think of, you want to be on that first page in Google, and that's essentially what it was doing. So let's hope it stays that way. We've actually had a lot of positive media attention. Let's ignore some of the negative, but there's a lot of positive things. If you've seen our WRTV, Wish TV, a few of them, WTHR, I think we had 3 of the 4 major networks doing some very positive. We Before Me has been a big one right now. First day of school. WFYI tomorrow is coming into the schools. I will be with them. Just doing a piece on how kids are feeling about this new law with some teachers. It's not an indictment of any kind of Beech Grove. It's just, what do you think? And it's a radio piece tomorrow. And then one addition is we've had the Contact Us forms on the website. Hopefully you've seen those. I added another button. It's not new. It's just a place for people to be directed up on the upper right corner. It just says Contact Us versus information. It's the same form people are going to kind of go to, but Brian had an issue trying to contact schools like on breaks to ask verifying employment and different things, and he'd go to their website and he'd say there's nowhere to go. We had it on there, but I realized we need to make it easier for different schools to be able to request transcripts, to be able to request things. So now we have that button with drop down. We can choose human resources, we can choose transportation, we can choose operations. So there really should be, and there's also a place for concerns for parents. I've tried to reword it a little bit, so we really want to encourage families, I want to say this publicly, if there's an issue with a school or with a teacher or the principal, if they don't feel comfortable going directly to that teacher, as the chain of command would have them, please get on our website, our Contact Us form. There is a private place to go to say, here I am, I have a concern about this. I answer every single one of those unless the website's down, and I will get that to that person, and I will personally follow up if it's not been done for 24 hours. So if any of the board members, if there's a concern, please encourage them to go to this Contact Us. It can be a tough topic. It's okay. We want to address it first before it goes to social media, is the idea. So that's just another button. It's another layer where we can go to. Those are my big points.
We think maybe on our website or on our Facebook page, screenshot on an arrow pointing to that button.
Sure.
and just put out any
good reminder.
any concerns or whatnot.
If you notice, I put the Contact Us, like we went and got everybody's number, everybody's email address, and we slapped that also on there because we want to hear it. I mean, we want to help. I just think people just need to understand that it's going to be a positive experience if you come refers to us. So that's a great idea. I'll get that on there tomorrow.
Mr. Garner.
Requesting approval of the personnel report and also the 2024-25 classified handbook. You might have noticed on the personnel report that we kind of made a change. I started putting on there hourly wage and salaries. I just thought it was something that you guys had never, at least from what I could see, hadn't had that on that report before. So that gives you some idea as a board, when you're approving someone, you're also approving this compensation. I don't know if there were any questions on the classified handbook. If there are, I'm happy to answer those. Julie and I kind of collaborated on that. There were pretty minor changes to that this year. I think the biggest one was just the way we're allocating the leave days. If you notice that we changed that a little bit. The tracking of that became very difficult. No one's going to take, and none of those benefits will go away from anyone, but some people are going to get those earlier than what they were previously getting those in their employment here at Beech Grove. But the tracking of that becomes very, very difficult over time because there were so many kind of like nuances and levels to that. So we try to streamline that some. Our current openings are listed here. We are in the process of, again, filling those. We've made a pretty significant progress from the last time we had a board meeting in whittling down those openings, so we don't have too many left. The grand opening for We Before Me is Tuesday the 27th. I sent everybody an invitation to that, so hopefully you'll be able to make it. We'll have cookies and drinks and some local media there, and hopefully a lot of our business partners that supported it will also be there. I've had some confirmations from them that they're coming, and I'm still waiting to hear back from some others. But if you, I think you'll be surprised if you haven't been in that space for a while, how we opened up those walls. And I'll just remind you that a lot of that renovation was done by us. So Tom was part of that, Chad Mann, Ryan, we kind of went in there, started knocking walls out, and then we had some local people that came in and helped with that as well, and kind of finished it up with the painting and electrical and some of the things that were needed. But it is an amazing space, and it is really rewarding to watch the kids operating in there right now, and they're just getting their feet wet, and we're just scratching the surface of the kinds of things and opportunities that we can provide kids through that business.
Ryan, do you have any idea yet what entrance you want us to go into? You know, most people automatically just kind of go towards the gym, but you may not.
Yeah, it'll be the main, we'll have everybody come in the main entrance because it's in the old, what I guess was the old library.
Yeah.
Is that right, Tom?
Kind of in the back of the library.
Yeah, that's the whole space has been and opened up now, and it's an amazing space in there. And so.
And we have a work session. Are we going to
Yeah.
stay there?
We're just going to stay there for that work session, and we'll be in the adult learning space, which is the old teacher workroom, right? Yeah. But we'll get you more information once we're there tonight, but
Yeah.
there that night, yeah.
We did have 14 teachers that attended new teacher orientation on July 18th, and I thought that was successful. And just a couple things from food service, in case you hear these things out into the community. We did got notification about mid-July that the CACFP program, which is a federal program, we used that to provide our snacks at the preschool. They were free. We were also part of the National School Lunch Program. The federal government says you can't double dip anymore. So if you're a CEP school, which we are, where everybody gets free breakfast and lunch, you can't then also take federal funds to pay for the snacks through CACFP. So we talked about that, Dr. Hammock and I did. We thought the bigger benefit was for all of our families to continue to get free breakfast and lunch versus a snack. So we worked through Title I funds, and then also Mr. Adamson has also sent some things out and gotten some help from our parents to help provide some snacks. So we're looking for different funding sources for that, but I think it's taken care of. But I thought you might hear that, but in case you did, that's kind of the background on it. And also we had some concerns with the high school lunch. I just wanted to let you know that we are experiencing about 25% increase in the number of students that are eating lunch at the high school this year. So. Yeah. So that's caused some problems as we had that increase. We met with Chartwell's, worked through that. I think it's smoothed out now and we're in good shape, but they just weren't anticipating a 25% increase. I think a lot of that was the way they reconfigured I Succeed, and students just decided there wasn't maybe quite enough time to get out and back, so they just wanted to stay, which is good for us. We feel good about them eating lunch in our cafeteria. And then finally was our recognition of Dulcie, and I'll just say again that for all of her years of service and dedication to Beech Grove City Schools, we are greatly appreciative of that and wish her the best of luck in her new endeavor.
I'll move that we accept the employment recommendations and approve the classified handbook.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I did, who seconded?
April and Beth?
Beth?
Beth.
Dr. Hammock?
We just would need an approval for that classified handbook as well. Or did you do them both?
You did both.
I did, yeah, I said both, I'm sorry.
April. No, my fault. I'm so sorry. Thank you. All righty. Thanks, yeah, absolutely.
We
So,
like the bundle.
we love a bundle, that's right. Too cute. Okay, so I do have several actions under our update this evening. I just wanted to mention that Julie is very disappointed that she's not here this evening. Poor thing has really been under the weather, so she actually came to work today and we sent her home. So just not feeling great, but we have several things that I will review with you in our work session regarding just a brief update on what our budget process will look like over these next few months. Answer any questions that you might have at this time, but certainly as we walk through September and October and November, as we always do, some reminders there. I wanted to just take a few minutes, nothing extensive, I promise you, but just as your district superintendent, I wanted to pause and just sort of take in the fact that we have been in school as of tomorrow 3 weeks, and I have never been more proud of this organization, of our teachers, of our support staff, of our administrative team. What we have created over these last 3 weeks is nothing short of extraordinary. We moved 2 buildings. Thank you, Mr. Gerhardt. We have 3 new building leaders. 2 of those 3 we didn't know. 1 we know, but is in a new space. We've been in the buildings daily, and what I can tell you is that there is a new feel throughout our organization that is palpable. It is positive. It's supportive. I'm absolutely thrilled to ideate where we'll be 1 year from now. In our sort of opening session with all of our staff in the auditorium on our opening breakfast meeting, we sort of challenged all of our employees to really dream about, we keep saying sort of 1 year from now, but the ideation is really thinking about when you are in a space, we like this notion of leaving a place better than we found it, right? And so we encourage everyone to really dream, really then operationalize in your role, in your space, what's one thing that 1 year from now you will have left better than you found it. And what I'm here to tell you this evening is that 3 weeks in, I am seeing our space better than we found it already. Our students are thriving. There's just a different, tangible, palpable energy that I am just so encouraged by. And I have to believe that this is going to translate in student achievement. And so that's kind of our tie-in to the reminder that in 2 weeks we will be getting together for the We Before Me celebration. And then we'll have our work session immediately to follow. It'll begin at 6:30. I do believe that the We Before Me grand opening is at 5:30, right, Mr. Garman? So we'll start at 6:30, and we will have all of our instructional coaches, all of our principals together, and we're going to review our data from last year. We're going to update you all on our goals for this year, where we're headed, and how we're going to get there. Really operationalized, action-oriented evening. I just want to thank April, because you are the encouragement behind this evening. April has asked us for 3 years to have one night where we can talk about student achievement and growth and performance, and we are making that happen, April, and I am so grateful for that. So I'm excited about where we'll be that evening, and I just encourage you to come with questions and, heart and mind open, and just all sorts of curricular achievement stuff in 2 weeks from tonight. So it should be a really great evening together.
We'll start at the middle school with
We're going to actually stay there the whole night,
Oh,
so you don't
okay,
have
okay.
to travel. So 5:30 for the week before me grand opening, and then we're going to be in the adult learning lab at 6:30, which is the
Ryan.
teacher workroom
Okay,
formally there. But we'll
That
point you in the right
text
direction.
information is a
Okay.
lot.
And it should be great.
Trying to
It should be a
get
really
it
nice evening. So
during the regular
really looking
meeting.
forward to it. But tonight, we do have 2 items for your consideration. One is the annual approval of our teacher appreciation grant policy. Many thanks to Gina Herman and her team for ensuring that we were compliant with getting that language together. It's just updated as far as the date. There is nothing substantive that has been changed. And then secondly, we did a process this year to coordinate our school calendar where we wanted to get feedback from our employees on some calendar options. One that would start sort of just like we started this year, which felt kind of early, I guess, and one that would be a week later than that earlier start, and then one that was sort of substantively different with sort of taking a week away of a break and then starting a little bit later. And the first iteration, we were very close on all 3 options. Option A and B were sort of the lead. So we reissued the survey so that those folks who had voted for option C could have a voice and if someone had changed their mind. And it ended up being very clear that we will be going back to school next year 1 week later as compared to this school year. And that means that we will be out after Memorial Day. So graduation will actually be that Saturday after Memorial Day next year. And interesting just noticing, I think sometimes folks don't realize that Memorial Day, where it lands in the calendar, is why this gets wonky every now and then, because Memorial Day, we're just in a space where it's really early. So it's happening earlier, and then if Memorial Day ends up being more towards the end of the month, then you get sort of an extra week at the beginning. It can be complicated to think about, but it's just Memorial Day drives it all. And, if we're working backwards, that's how it can get a little wonky. But we are very proud of the calendar that we're presenting to you this evening, and I think it will be great for kids. And then really no substantive changes for families because they are not experiencing something different when it comes to the breaks that would be offered. So just those 2 actions tonight, and then just several topics that we'll go over in work session. And I appreciate you all for allowing for us to make the changes that we did this year. We couldn't have done it without you as a board and your leadership and guidance and good questions, and all of it, I think, has gotten us to a space where you can really be proud.
Just a question for my education.
Yes.
The calendar, is it negotiated every year as a change, or is it just is it special circumstances this year?
It's always discussed with
Okay.
the Teachers Association. It is not a bargainable concept anymore. It used to
Okay.
be, back in the day. But now it is a requirement that we discuss because any working hours are discussed with our
I see.
association.
So there's nothing that triggered a change, it was just,
Yep.
part of the process, okay?
Yeah, and every year it seems like we just kind of have a couple of concepts that we toss out for consideration and we get the feedback. And I think this is our 2nd year of surveying. Yeah, we surveyed last year. Yeah, and so just a way to make sure that people have a voice.
Okay. And it kind of, I think, aligns us to certain school districts, like in
Better.
terms of, yeah, and others maybe not so much, but yeah, okay, I appreciate that.
Exactly right.
Thank you very much.
Yes, no, great question.
Should we do the motions to
Right.
approve? Okay.
If I get a motion to approve the 24-25 teacher appreciation grant policy.
I'll make said motion.
Brian,
I'll second.
Tara, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And now can I get a motion to approve the 25-26 school calendar? Janice? Beth? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, operations.
So I can tell you, to kind of dovetail into what Dr. Hemick said, certainly it was a busy summer for us and continued to be extremely busy for operations and still is, with all of the odds and ends of everyone being in a new building and kind of learning what's there and what isn't, and getting those teachers the things that they need. We bought a decent amount of furniture that was probably long overdue. And we're waiting for those things to come in, much like we are waiting for the fence for the playground to come in. For the life of me, I did not ever believe they could put a playground in 4 days, and it would take 3 weeks to put a fence in, but it does. So K&K's doing that for us. They are actually waiting on material. Nobody stocks material anymore. So I can assure everyone that there will be a fence, and it will be up as soon as K&K gets it. We've put some pressure on them, and they have responded, and they're gonna get it in for us.
The students are not playing on the playground until we have a fence.
Students are absolutely not playing on the playground. That is a principal's decision, a wise one.
Yes.
And they will not be on there until there's a fence. I can tell you, somebody's using the playground.
Every night.
Yeah.
All the day. all
It
the
is
time.
busier probably than the one at the bottom of the hill.
It is a beautiful playground.
It
I
is.
mean, it's really neat. Really good quality equipment. I'm pleased with it. As you may have noticed in the personnel report, we were able to hire 3 bus monitors, and I know we have 1 in the process that's moving through Nimble that will be hired. So we're looking in good shape in that area. We'd really like for those people to consider learning how to become a bus driver. That would always be great. Or anyone that currently is a bus driver, we'll take a look at. And then finally, Mr. Mann and I and Mr. Garman are meeting tomorrow. We're going to lay out our Safe Schools plan for the year. Just a reminder to everyone, we are really focused on ALICE training. And if you want to know what that is, I can certainly share information with you online about that acronym and kind of the things that includes. So that's it for me.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from July 9th?
I'll make said motion.
Tara,
I'll second.
Brian, all those in favor?
Aye.
And can I get a motion to approve the minutes from July 22nd? Janice,
I'll second.
Jill? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And I need a motion to approve the claims for July.
I'll move.
Beth 1, April 2. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I get a motion to approve the fundraisers, and let's just bundle it with the donations.
I'll move. We approve the fundraiser and donations.
Second, Janice, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Hey, Steph, thank you so much for that form with all the fundraisers on it. That is so nice
like
to see
that.
it all in one.
No Yeah.
problem at all. Thank you for doing that.
Reverse those. April, James, or James there. Got it. C9 update?
The last building project update happened at the meeting last week, which was phenomenal. Pepper Construction still has some punch items that they're dragging their feet on finishing, so we have decided that we are holding their final check until they do it.
Very good.
It's $56,000, which is not chump change. If they decide not to do the stuff and feel $56,000 is chump change, then we'll use it to pay somebody else. But there's some things that really need to be done. Dr. Kovach is meeting with the I Acted group because some of the new graduation proposals could really affect C9 and CTE. So he is acting with that group to sort of mitigate what these concerns could be for those students and making sure that they're represented properly. the reception for the new Commons building and the new welding lab was last week as well, and it is glorious. It is so nice. It is beautiful. They were so excited. The staff was just so excited to be able to house all of their students in one space for awards programs and announcements and things of that sort. So, and then, to double the size of the welding lab is really important. So, it was a good meeting and it was a good time. And that's all I have.
Anything from parks or RDC update? They have locked in with the firm for the economic plan of Beech Grove. Dave Copenhaver approached me the other day, and with my tie with the RDC and with the schools, has asked me to be a part of the steering committee for that. It's really in its infancy. Probably start the meetings, I'm guessing, at least 30 days out. And then I think their timeline was going to be 60 or 90 days for them to develop a plan. So other than that, that's really what they've been working on the last 2 months, 3 months. Board member and superintendent's success stories.
I have a success story. The shared system branch of the library stayed at South Grove. So that left those 5th and 6th graders that were used to having every week or month access to a library sort of out of an element in the library at Central had pretty much been disassembled and turned into the computer lab. So Mr. Carr and Mrs. Collinsworth at Central and I have worked really, really hard, and we are bringing those students over at least monthly or more often if they like. We've developed a calendar. We got the kids' library cards that didn't have cards. We have scannable barcodes for those kids that did have cards. I've probably waived $3,000 worth of fines. We've got kids on Earn and Learn that still had things outstanding from South Grove, but at this point in time, nearly every class has come over, and there have been concerns about 4th, 5th, and 6th graders and 5th and 6th graders and how they had developed during the COVID downtime and in their last educational environments. And I really have to say that every single one of them was excited about reading. They were excited about being at the library. They were excited about choosing books. They were excited about learning the process of checking books out. The teachers were really excited and engaged, and I think this is going to really work out well to give them access, every couple of weeks to come over and do activities there. So it's really exciting, and I look forward to seeing that continue to grow. And I have to say, the parking lot is amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nobody in the lot is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Took a few days, but
Figuring
boy,
that out.
we are so proud of Andy and Ethan and Mr. Gerhard. It's amazing. Wow. Yeah, it's 1,000 times better. Yeah, it's good stuff. I'm so glad you're pleased, Jill. And Jill, thank you for your leadership with the library transition. It just elates me to know that our 5th and 6th graders are accessing that gorgeous community resource and, are expanding their worlds by reading, right? So thank you for that.
It's funny because we can see on the parking lot camera when they come out.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, they're on their
coming.
way,
Yeah.
and we'll all move into our positions and pull out our lists in case somebody forgot a library card or didn't bring one with them, and we've identified which kids need them, and we've pre-made them, and then there's new kids. It's really been a fun process, and my staff has worked really, really hard, and the branch manager and the children's librarian are always right there, and it's just really been exciting.
Wonderful. So great. Thank you.
I can just say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Make sure everyone was aware that Samuel had passed away, and there will be a celebration sometime in the fall. Just take a minute to think about his family and the impact that, he's made on our school corporation.
I just wanted to say, I got to experience 2 different schools, back-to-school night, and it went really well. It was really great. And thank you for everybody that made that a welcoming, environment for the kids coming back to school. I think it went extremely well going back to school. All the, bumps in the road seem to be smoothed out. We're down to almost a cadence now. So it seems very good for everything I've seen so far as a parent. So thank you very much for everybody that's made that success.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Janice? Second?
I'll second.
April? All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:04 PM.